let's go. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're going to talk about the Rumble, which happened this past weekend. It is Monday for us now as we record this.
Yep.
Had a few days to sit with it,
Yep.
I thought the whole event was great, to be honest with you.
Me too. Loved it. Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying online that it was like Boston. I was like, we just couldn't have been watching the same pay-per-view. There's no way.
I get so tired of like reading people's online opinions now because it's like they just are now being negative for no reason.
Yep.
They'll will find something to be mad about.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, let's get right to it. The first match of the night was the Rumble, the Women's Rumble. That was great. I mean, it's always so hard covering Rumbles because there's so much that goes on.
Yeah, there's so much.
There's so much that goes on. But I mean, the big things are like Charlotte Flair returning.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss was the big one for me. That dude. So glad she's back.
Yep.
I hope it means she's back full, and it wasn't just some like
a one-off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think
same
it will
with
be.
Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus might have just been.
That's a
I
one-off.
don't know.
She looked pretty good for what she was doing.
She looks the same as she did when she was feuding with Becky.
Yeah.
Like she didn't look any worse. So
it didn't look like she slowed down or anything.
Issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Nikki Bella came back too,
and she didn't look bad either.
And she's going to be back
in shape to wrestle and stuff. Is she really?
I think. I mean, she on socials that's the way she's acting. So
cool. Sounds good to me, man.
Stephanie Vaquer was there.
Oh yeah, yep, and
Jordan
Julia
Grace
as well, NXT champ.
Yep.
Jordan Grace, yeah, she just signed with WWE. That's going to be awesome.
So that actually had
killer, dude.
That had more surprises than the men's Rumble, like
by
bigger
far,
entries.
Which was something that I was going to bring up as well. Is that the contrast between the two? It felt like the women's one had, like you just said, like it had more surprise entrances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And cool twists and turns. The men's felt like everybody that came in was serious except for only Speed.
Yeah.
But was all real guys that like were fighting for their chance at the belt. There was no boogeyman or like Tatanka or whatever like we talked about on the last episode, which will probably it's out already. It came out right before the Rumble, so
which is good because like I don't know, it's like on one hand you want to see some of that stuff, but you just like it's way cooler seeing guys who have a chance,
It felt a lot more intense seeing it be all guys that you feel like who knows.
Yeah, there was like a purpose to everybody.
Yeah, yep.
Well, everybody, I would say. Even
I think so.
We'll talk about the men's one later, but
yeah.
Anyway, Charlotte won it.
Yep. And Roxanne Perez looked awesome in that. She's got it. There's just no way she's not coming up to the main roster.
Yeah.
There was a lot of NXT girls that just looked great in that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think there was the only thing in the whole match I really remember seeing that made me be like, man, that was a clusterfuck. Was when Nia eliminated like 10 people on the apron.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10, but there was just like a pile up on the apron, and then everybody just kind of like slipped and fell off. But I loved the setup of Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan.
Right.
Where Raquel attacked Alexa while she was on the apron, and she like hit her and was distracted by her, and then Liv hit her with the whatever she calls that. It's like a code breaker.
It's
basically.
A code breaker, yeah. They actually called it a code breaker. Yeah.
Oh, they did? Okay,
I think so.
That makes sense. It just is a code breaker.
Yeah.
But that I hope that is the feud they're going to look at is Alexa and Liv, because that is the feud, dude.
I think so.
That is money. That would be awesome.
And then
Charlotte coming back.
Yeah, people weren't happy that Charlotte won.
Yeah, but it's Charlotte.
I get that.
Like, she's Mount Rushmore. Like, yeah, it would have been cool to see somebody else win. Don't get me wrong, and I don't have any issue with someone else winning it, and I just don't really have an issue with Charlotte winning either. I feel like Charlotte winning is likely going to set up for Charlotte versus Tiffy at Mania for the World Championship, and that's just, or is it the no,
Yeah.
that's the women's WWE, right? And Rhea
Yes.
is the women's world
Yes.
champion.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tiffy and Charlotte is like I've got to see that. I've got to see that and see it at Mania. So that's why Charlotte winning, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
sick. I'll take it. Sets up for her versus Tiffy. Good deal.
I
I'll
think
take it.
it's a good move, and especially if you can just give Tiffany Stratton the rub there, because
Yes.
Charlotte doesn't need a title, like it.
God no. She
And Tiffany
so
had like a
doesn't need
big
a
build.
title,
There was
dude.
the whole thing leading up to it, and
Yep.
she finally
Yep.
got it with the cash in and all that. I think it'd be a good idea to give her the rub from Charlotte, but
Have her go over. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But I definitely think that's the move is Charlotte and Tiffy, and then Liv and Alexa Bliss. And then as far as Rhea for the world title, I don't know. She's got she's got options.
right,
It'd be cool to see maybe her versus Raquel because I know they have a lot of history, but there's also new people coming up. You know.
yeah,
But yeah, so Charlotte Flair won that, and I think the last person in the Rumble with her was Roxanne Perez,
yep,
which is she had a crazy performance that night. She was in it for 90% of the Rumble. Wasn't she number 3? Like who was number 1 and 2?
yeah. I
It
think
was
it
Io
was. I think
Sky and
I
Liv,
think she
right?
was like 3. And
Yeah.
I was watching like the SmackDown from before because I didn't realize they
Okay.
had like a special start time at 6. And so
Yeah.
I was watching that, and then I saw something on SmackDown that was like, yeah, there's a special start time at 6, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I tuned in,
Yup. Time.
and I
Turn
had
it on
already
right now.
been. It was already there was already like seven of them in there when I
Okay.
got to it. But the first few entries, there weren't any surprises, so I
I
didn't really
actually
miss
have it right
anything.
here. Roxanne was third. Yep, it was Io Sky and then Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and then Lyra Valkyria came in at 4.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, there were so many people in this that were good though. I thought that as far as NXT people, we had Stephanie Vacure, uh, Julia, Jada Parker, Lash Legend, Roxanne Perez. They all looked great to me. Jordan Grace looked awesome. I could see Jordan Grace going straight to main event scene. I think she got a huge pop when she came out, but nobody all night got a pop like Alexa Bliss.
yeah.
Literally nobody. She got the biggest pop of the entire night when she came out,
Oh yeah,
and she owned it, dude. She was locked in. Oh yeah,
yeah. That was really
that
cool.
was awesome, awesome, awesome. I can't tell you how glad I am she's back. She's one of my favorites ever in the women's
Uh
division,
huh.
man. She's incredible.
Yeah, and she
Um,
didn't come back with like her old gimmick or anything.
no,
And it was cool. I thought the tribute. It was kind of a tribute to her character
yep,
and everything.
tribute to Bray, and
Yeah, it was beautiful.
it was sick, dude. So good. Um,
That
yeah,
was really cool, and especially like her
that was
music. Her
that was
music
like,
hits hard too. So like that everybody was
yep,
like, "Oh my god, yes!" And there was a
yeah,
lot of
dude. It
like
was
speculation beforehand too, like
yeah. They
about
swerved everybody
yeah.
great
Michael
with
Cole's
the
like,
dirt sheets. Be like, oh, it's not gonna happen.
yeah, Michael Cole was like, the internet said she wasn't coming back.
Yeah, yeah. Stop reading the dirt sheets, Cole. Freaking bad news bearer. I love that shit. Yeah, that was probably my favorite like Rumble entry of the
Oh, it
night
was for sure.
was her. Um yeah, what was after the Rumble?
That was the
Gargano and
tag team. Yeah,
Ciampa versus Motor City Machine Guns. I thought that was a
that
wicked
was a
good
really good
match.
match too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The
Like
o- the
there wasn't
the
any
only
misses.
thing I was weird about was the ending having the Street Profits
Yeah.
interfere and ambush. Like I guess I understand though because they've been feuding with DIY, right? Or DIY like took them out,
Um.
and so they came back and screwed over the Machine Guns
Yeah.
so that DIY would have the belt and they would be fighting them for the
It
belt.
made
I
it
don't
made
know.
storyline sense. It just felt like
Made
it
storyline
needed
sense,
to.
but
It should have something should have come to a head there rather than.
a 2 out of 3 falls match ending with a
Yeah,
storyline
yeah.
mess was weird to me. It just was. But other than that ending, I thought that match was kick ass. And all those guys are just
But
so
and
good at tag wrestling.
that goes for any time you put a stipulation on a match. It's like you want that to be the
Hmm.
conclusion of a
Hmm.
storyline instead of an advancement.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's like you don't want to do a Hell in the Cell match and somehow it ends in a DQ.
right.
You'd be
Yeah.
like, what? But it's a so that's why I thought it was weird to not use the stipulation as the
I
ending.
don't even think it's possible, but they would make it.
I mean, I guess they did. They technically did because it was still won by a pinfall.
Yeah.
It was just a run in that got ignored or a distracted ref or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, not much to say about that
I
one
mean, there's
other
only four
than
matches on this card, so it's like
yeah, yep. But it's 2 rumbles
yeah.
and they're both an hour long plus. So but
Rhodes and
as far as that
Owens and
goes,
Rhodes was crazy, dude. That ladder match was unreal.
oh that's one of the best ladder matches I've legit ever seen. Singles, like one-on-one ladder match, one of the best I've ever
That
seen.
was
Straight up.
crazy. There was some wild spots on that. That dude, I was like that one. I guess the first spot would have been Owens going onto the side of the ladder.
Oh, that was wicked fun.
That was
Yeah, I
fucking
hate that.
yeah.
Hate that.
I don't like that.
Don't want to see that. I don't like anything. Listen, if you've ever handled ladders just to work, nothing to do with wrestling, and you touch those stupid fucking things like the braces that pop down, just they are so made to fuck your hands up and
Yeah,
hurt you.
yeah.
So seeing him take that bump into those,
Well,
and then it
it
broke
doesn't even
off, and they're
matter.
using it as a weapon, like fuck
It's
that.
anything with a corner. It's like it's just gonna
Yeah,
hurt. Like
instantly sketchy. Um,
then there, yeah,
the
there was.
other, the ending was by far like that was so insane.
Well, the second
The
one was he had the ladder on the ropes and the other ladder, and then they came off the
oh
turnbuckle.
yeah, yes, the suplex to Cody
Yeah,
was
yeah,
insane. That like spin around suplex he kind of does.
yeah. That was crazy too.
Uh, that was crazy. Yeah, that was
And
super crazy.
then the finish was absolutely fucking. That was one of the best spots I've ever seen. One of the best. Like that
In
was.
a ladder match, that was one of the best
Yeah,
spots I've
it
ever
was.
seen. Yeah.
That was brutal.
Super brutal. It looked brutal, but it also looked like they executed it so perfectly.
Yeah.
It looked like how it would look in like No Mercy or something.
Right.
Like it was so smooth, so perfectly rotating. He landed exactly perfect, like had in between rings so he could brace it on his shoulders instead of spiking his neck.
Yeah.
The
And
ladder, he hits the ladder, then the ladder goes.
yeah.
Like
And it's tough to
that
like
was
he like
mastery.
the way yeah, and the way he lands it like he was on his head basically. So it's
Yeah.
like it
And he
looks
folded perfectly and just stays there.
it was
Like,
so good.
dude,
I mean,
that
man,
was
Kevin Owens,
unbelievably
dude,
good.
that's another guy who doesn't quite
Yeah,
get
he deserves all the credit in the world
yeah.
for what he's been doing lately. He's been one of the top guys in the company.
He's
And
been
his
one of
feud
my
with
favorites.
Cody's been incredible.
He's been one of my favorites for a
For
long
years.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Dude,
years and years
the
and years.
like his whole thing with Jericho and being friends with Jericho was top tier.
That's when it really started, man. Like I loved him in NXT, and I loved when like Triple H put the belt on him by force and screwed over Seth.
Yeah.
And it showed everybody like, okay, Trips is committed to modern guys.
Yeah.
But when they paired him up with Jericho for the list, that was just everything he did after that. He could do no wrong for me. He was just, and he didn't do anything wrong. He
Yeah.
was only involved in amazing stuff, having amazing matches over and over again. He's been one of the most consistent top guys they have. Like, no question, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
was very happy to see him turn heel, kind of this like gray area modern heel thing.
yes, yeah.
To feud with Cody.
He's so
for the
good when
belt
he
has
just
been
starts
great.
yelling at people, like yelling at commentary
Yeah.
and all that shit.
Yep. Yep. He's hilarious when he's just chewing
Yeah,
out commentary and
yeah.
bickering with people. Like he's so good at that.
I think it was
But yeah,
interesting showing
Cody,
Cody's kind of his like you can see that there's like
like a mean
wires.
streak.
Yeah, there's wires that are getting crossed. You know what I mean?
hmm Yeah, they're teasing a heel turn eventually.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna lose sight of everything and turn heel. You can see it coming, and it's genius. It's a long play for
it
sure, and they're
is.
doing it perfectly.
Yeah, I forget who the
And
promo
also,
was. Was it there was a promo like a month ago or so that they were talking about he was talking to Cody. Somebody was talking to Cody about what the belt does to you after you've held it for a certain amount of time.
yes, it was Punk.
Was it
It was
Punk?
Punk talking about how he got worn
Yeah,
out and burned
yeah,
out, and it changed him when he had the belt because he had like a record run with the belt, which
yeah.
he did.
And I
He
think
did.
that's a good, it's foreshadowing
That's the
that.
tease.
Yeah,
They're planting seeds for long-term growth to the heel turn.
yeah,
The longer he has the belt, the harder it's going to be this cookie cutter goody two shoes character that he dreams of being.
yeah. I think it's
You know,
great. I think it's a good slow
it's
burn.
genius, very genius. Um, and lastly, the shot of Cody. They did the drone shot and shit of Cody holding up both belts. I think it is time. I think they're doing it. They used that match to get rid of the WWE title of old to bring back this new winged eagle design, and I'm all for
They
it.
might be.
They already did it. They already did it with the world title. They got rid of the world title they were using and replaced it with the WCW big gold belt, like redone.
Yeah,
You know, so I think it's time. I think it's time.
it would be.
Um,
It would be cool to do that for sure.
yeah.
I haven't seen them tease anything or say anything about that, but
No,
I
I
wonder
haven't
if he.
either,
If
other than just the usage of it.
we'll just we'll just know if he comes out with both next time you see him. You know,
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna find out next time we see him. That's for sure.
which is tonight.
Um,
Well, there's a well tonight.
yeah. I'm presuming we're gonna see him on Raw, but I guess we don't know for sure. Um, we might not. Might not be till SmackDown, but we'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah. Um,
yeah, great ladder
yeah.
match.
Great. One of the best I can remember seeing
Yeah,
as far as singles ladder matches. And on a pay-per-view specifically even more so, yeah,
mm,
because I'm sure there had to be some where I'm not thinking of, you know what I mean? Like I think there was one a lot of people talk about with Benoit, Jericho
yeah, but
versus
I mean
Benoit or
for
something
sure
that
in
just gets
recent memory. I
erased.
mean, I don't want to use. It's
Yeah,
like you got recency bias, but like I mean, it
yes,
is still.
but
I mean, come on.
it was kind of incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Uh, um, but yeah, and then there's the men's rumble. Men's rumble was great. I loved the. I mean, there was a lot to love in this. I loved how I feel like a lot of rumbles are designed in a way where there's a lot of everybody just in the corner resting and getting stomped
Yeah,
on and generic shit, right? I felt like this rumble was one of the better worked out rumbles I can remember.
yeah. It felt like
Uh,
it kept the
uh,
pace perfectly, and you didn't
yeah,
want
there
to.
was always stuff going on with
Yeah,
multiple people you couldn't miss.
I don't know what
It
what the regular amount of time between entrances, but it felt really fast.
sounded like it felt like 2 minutes max. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? 2 minutes max, and that's I like that pace. I thought that was a good pace.
yeah,
I thought the pace was great, especially because the match was fucking an hour and 20
yeah.
minutes.
And we had
So
Joe
yeah,
Hendry, we had
it was long.
AJ Styles.
Yup,
I mean,
yup.
Logan Paul
Lot
came
of
in at
gold.
30, and that was so
Yup.
heel. I loved that.
That was yeah.
Coming in at
That
30
was
because
good
everybody's
heel
like,
shit.
well, there's only one left. Who could it possibly be? And then it's Logan
And then it
Paul.
was him. Perfect, dude. Yeah, fuck Logan Paul, and yeah, fuck Logan Paul, and he's a great heel because he's like the easiest dude in the world to hate on,
Yeah, I,
and he knows it and he owns it
yeah,
perfectly. So he's a great heel,
dude, he comes in
and
hot too. He came in super hot, and
yep,
then
and
jumps to the
he
announce
is
table and all that shit.
great. Yep, great in the ring. So it's perfect heel stuff. When you're a dirty scumbag human and everybody hates you, they also hate that they can't deny how good you are in
Yeah.
the ring. You know what I mean? So he just is money, and he's super hateable, and that's what you want out
Yeah,
of a
people
great heel.
people
So
don't people don't understand that. Well, some people do,
yeah,
I guess, but
yeah,
there's a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
that are like, "How do we tell WWE that we really don't like Logan Paul?" It's like you already are doing that,
You are telling them,
and
and guess what
and
they're
that's
doing?
what they want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I anything that has Dominic Mysterio anywhere near it,
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with. So everything he did, I thought was hilarious. I loved seeing Penta out there.
he was in there
Um,
for a long time. He was
a
in there
while,
until
yeah. And I guess I didn't get a good enough look at it. I'll have to watch the footage back. But people were saying that there was a fuck up where both feet hit the ground. I didn't get a good look at it. I
I thought
felt
it was
like it
1 foot.
looked like only 1 foot touch,
It
and his left foot looked close,
I didn't go
but the
back.
refs were right there.
Yeah,
And I feel like in today's WWE, if the refs are right there and they see that both touch, they're gonna force an audible and go, "No, he touched. It is what it is."
yeah.
Like they've done it. They've done it with other people. You know
Well,
what I
especially
mean?
when
So I don't know. I don't know.
you know that he's not winning it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I don't, it didn't look like both touch to me, but also it's kind of moot
Yeah.
because, like you said, he didn't win anyways, and it was forgotten about in 2 minutes.
I mean,
You
in
know what I
real
mean?
time, I thought it was 1 foot, but I didn't go back and look at it.
Me too. Me
Um,
neither. I didn't question it because the ref said no, it was wicked close, but no.
yeah,
And the commentators were like, "Did he touch?" And everybody agreed he didn't, and they just moved on.
it's one of
So
those
I don't
things
care.
too. It's like he has never been in a rumble, and so like it's
Yeah,
hard to. I mean, it's got to be difficult to go over the top and catch yourself and do all these
yeah,
things, especially when you're
sure,
trying to play up a spot where it's like a near elimination type thing.
yeah.
Like
But
that
at
can't
the
be
same
easy to
time,
do. Ray did it a couple
I
times too.
loved. Yep. And I love that it was him and Ray starting.
Yeah.
Great tease.
Oh yeah,
Big
that was
fan of
awesome.
that. And then let's
Yeah,
see.
Joe Hendry.
Jack Gable.
Uh,
Yeah, Joe Hendry was the biggest one, I thought. That was awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. Joe Hendry was awesome.
that was.
And he looked great, and he had the crowd popped huge.
Uh
They sang his song. They did his "We Will Rock You" chant with him and
yeah.
stuff to set up for his move. I thought it was sick. I thought
The
that was
camera guy
sick, dude.
missed the zoom in though.
He
I
did.
did
Yeah, that
notice
guy
that.
sucks. Yeah, you got to reprimand the camera guy for
Yeah.
missing that. Obviously, that's trash. Let's see. Just looking at all the entrances or all the entries right now
Oh,
in order. Hendry
Tozawa.
was 15.
Tozawa came out
Uh,
and got
Tozawa,
yeah,
he almost came out
he got popped.
until he got absolutely destroyed by who was it? Carmelo
I think it
Hayes,
was
I think,
Mello.
jumped
Yeah,
him right. Yeah, yeah, because
Mello
he
has
got
been
tossed.
great lately. The last couple weeks.
He is phenomenal, dude. But then Speed went out,
Yeah,
and he took the most ruthless
spear. Yeah,
tree chopping spear
yeah,
from
that
Ron Breaker.
that was brutal. I watched
And
his.
then he just gets pressed and tossed out. Who caught him? Otis? Otis did, right?
Yeah,
He caught him
and then he
and
throws him over.
it's
Yeah, that was great.
yeah, dude.
I
Wicked good.
watched his live stream. You can kind of like
Me
it's like
too.
an hour
Yeah.
long, but you can like skip around to
Mhm.
where they are, where interviews are
It
and
was
stuff.
that was really well done too. It was
Yeah,
cool seeing him
yeah,
walk around out back and try to interview people. And then when he gets to Gorilla, he's just chilling like this is crazy. Like
yeah,
nobody's ever filmed back here. And he's talking to Stephanie McMahon or whatever.
yeah,
And then you see Tozawa coming in on his stream and all real time. Triple H be like, "Speed, Speed, you're in," and he's like, "What?" It was cool. They
yeah.
did that great.
No, they did.
I thought Speed was great, man. I thought he was great.
No,
He
he did
filled his
well.
role
He did well
perfectly.
with what.
Yeah, for being like a gimmick thing,
Yeah,
he was entertaining as fuck.
yeah, and
Um,
people like don't like. Sometimes they hate when a guy like just like a celebrity or whatever comes in, like a
yeah,
David Arquette or whatever, and it's like that's fun. It's
yeah,
not
but
a problem. Like, is they're not really taking up a
Speed
spot.
is, yeah, for sure. I think with Speed it's a little bit easier because part of what a lot of people know about him is that he's like freakishly athletic for no reason
Yeah,
and can just do backflips and long jumps and all kinds of crazy shit. And he's always saying like, I'm the fastest dude ever. I need to race these guys on foot races and shit. Shit we did when we were 10, you know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? But yeah, I personally I like Speed. I've watched other stuff of his, um, and I don't mind him. I think he seems like
yeah. I've never watched any
he's
of his
cool.
stuff, but I don't. I
As
don't
far
watch
as
a lot of.
streamers go,
Yeah, I don't watch
yeah, I don't
streamers.
watch a ton of streamers, but a lot of streamers that I've tried to watch end up just being pieces of trash or super corny or like weird, and I just can't get behind it.
Yeah,
But his stuff seems cool.
yeah.
And he did a good job, so
No,
all
yeah, I
good, you
can't
know.
hate on him for sure.
Yeah, can't hate on him for it. And I can't hate on him again because I loved when he came out in the prime bottle and took an RKO. That was
Yeah,
hilarious too.
yeah.
That was hilarious
It's
too.
funny that
So
he always
he's
gets
2 for 2
he
right now.
always gets
Yeah,
destroyed.
he's super game to go out and get fucking destroyed. So I can't knock him. Let's see.
It
Um,
came down to Cena and Uso.
it did come down to Cena and Uso. 29 was LA Knight. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Um, this small run in here, where is it? Towards the end, we had like, it was Roman Reigns and I think, was it Drew McIntyre? I think it was Roman and Drew in the ring, and then Cena
Oh,
came out.
yeah, yeah. It was. It was.
Yeah, Roman and Drew in the ring. Cena came out, and they're all like, "What the fuck?" And then
And
Punk comes
yeah,
out right after Cena. They don't even touch each other for 2 minutes of just standing there until Punk comes
and then
out,
I think Rollins came out
which was
too.
nasty. And then Rollins came
Yeah.
out right after that. And then Dirty Dom, and Dom fucking gets in. He does some like cheap shot or something. 2 seconds in, he does a stupid flex. This no muscles flex, dude. I
I
love that
remember
shit.
that was when I
I
was like,
love that.
I can't. That was when I thought that entrants were faster than normal because I remember Punk came
Right?
in and stood there, and then Rollins came out. I was like, wait, didn't somebody just come
Yeah.
out? I don't know if it, I don't. I didn't. It's not like I had a stopwatch, but it felt like it was fast.
Yeah. What I'm looking at has all the times that people were in too. Longest time anybody spent
Penta
in
was
the
40
match
minutes or something.
was Penta, 42:05.
Yeah.
He had the longest run in the match. Um, looks like next longest, what's he, 42? Maybe Roman at 37. Jey Uso was 36:59.
A
He
lot
was
of them
right
got
behind him.
eliminated around at the same time. Like they all kind of got out. They were all eliminated in like a batch. It felt like.
Yeah, yes, yeah, for sure. Strowman looked awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love him. Love seeing him in there.
I thought
Let's
that the Uso
see.
thing was an interesting choice, to be honest with you.
Jay winning. I liked it, and here's why. One, dude is unreal hardworking. Two, he's pushing tons of merch.
He's so over.
He's super duper over, and they did a great job of setting up this potential storyline for the year with Cena of having him get right there, and something goes haywire, and he just quite can't make it.
Yeah.
And that seemed like what it did. Like when it came down to Cena and Jay, they used good storyline shit between Drew, or no, it was Roman, Seth, and Punk
Yeah.
that all kind of went out, and that was cool.
If
I
you
liked that. And
watched
then they
the,
just tossed Logan's dumbass out.
I think it was post show. There was a like Cena's press conference. It gave heel
Yeah,
vibes. Like it was very he changed. So like his tune was, if the fans want me to win one, like I'll win one. Now it's like I'm going to
I am
win
calling my shot.
the
I am doing
elimination
this.
chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, good. I don't think we're going to see a heel turn. I don't think there's even remotely a chance we see a heel
No,
turn out of
but
Cena at the end of his
it
career.
was definitely a different
But
vibe.
it felt a lot more intense from him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he got in the rumble
I think
and felt how his body felt in the match and went, I'm taking it.
yeah,
I'm calling my
that's
shot. We're
the
doing this.
that's the character progression there. Is
Yeah.
the fact that he was right at the end, almost winning the rumble, and then now he's like, I'm deciding that
Right
I
there,
can
man.
do this. Like I
Hmm.
know that I can do
I can
this.
do this, and I'm going to. And it was even more cool seeing Triple H come out and talk in regards to that,
Yeah,
saying, "I, I, you know, John has earned the right to call a shot, so he doesn't have to ask me to be in Elimination Chamber.
right.
He's just gonna be in it if he wants. And if he's telling you he's winning one more
Yeah.
for you guys, it would be tough for me to count him out because
Well,
it's
yeah, you're
Cena."
not gonna say no.
And
Like,
it's like, yeah, yep, exact. So to me, that will be one of the more emotional moments in wrestling history, I think, if we actually get to see Cena break Flair's record in
yeah,
our lifetime. Like, that's actually crazy.
yeah,
That is crazy. And he so hard deserves it.
yeah. I think it will happen.
I hope so. Having said that, Jay winning, I think he deserves it. I think it was a cool swerve away from Cena, but don't just give it to the same fucking guys we'd expect, like a Punk or a Roman or something. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
think you're
Give it
gonna
to somebody
see.
fresh.
Well, so now since there's two main events at Mania, it's like I think you're gonna be able
Yeah,
to see Jay and Gunther, and then Rhodes, and
Cody and and
who
maybe
maybe
Cena or
Cena. That's what I
whoever.
was
Yeah.
thinking. But
Yep. Yep. But also
Cody and
we
Cena
do
is a
have
big match. That's a huge fucking match.
that is The
I
Rock
think that's
Cena. You
the
know what I mean?
match. Yeah, I think that's the one you have to do. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have Cena? How do you have Cena retire and not have him in a match with
And
your
if he
other?
beats Cody, dude,
Yeah, it's like
have him beat Cody to win it would be so insane.
right. Yeah, because like Cody doesn't lose much. It's John Cena, right? So like,
Hell
how
no,
does
it's
that hurt Cody?
Ceena. Yeah, it doesn't at all.
If you're
But
gonna
I
have
would
Cody
like
drop
to
the belt
see.
now, it's like you want to have him drop it to someone that tier, like someone that is Cena's level.
Here's what I think would be another cool way to do it too, though, is you have Cody. I think a really poetic way to do it would be have Punk in the chamber beat Cena to win the chamber, and Cena comes this close again, and Punk beats him and goes to Mania and faces Cody, and Punk gets his Mania moment and beats Cody
And now
and wins the
Cena and
title,
Punk.
and now Cena and Punk feud for Cena's final
Right.
record
Well,
breaking
yeah,
win.
and
And Punk gets to return the favor to Cena, who put him over for the title back in the day
I get that, yeah.
in
Especially
Chicago.
because his Cena's farewell tour or whatever isn't ending at Mania. So
No, no, that's what I mean. So they have more
they
time.
can
They could
stretch
even
that out.
do Punk as the champion versus Cena at SummerSlam
Yeah, I
or
can see
something, you
that
know?
too.
And then have Cena win it at SummerSlam and proclaim, if I keep this belt until the end of the year, I will relinquish this and retire. If I don't, I'll stop when I lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that path too.
Yep. So there's options, but that all makes sense to me, and I think it would be very cool to see. Either way, I want to see Punk get his main event at Mania. I want to see Cena get his title
Yeah.
sometime this year, for sure. I think they both deserve it, especially like Cena, duh. But I want to make specific note that I think Punk also deserves it because of the past. What it's almost been 2 years now, right? It's been 2 years since he came back, or is it just 1 year?
Yeah. 2 years. Sounds right.
Because he came back, his first match back was last
Well, it
year's
would have
Rumble,
been
though, and he got injured. So
Survivor
not
Series.
two.
Yeah.
Yep. So it would have been, it's like a
Year and a
year and a
half,
quarter or something like
maybe.
that. Yeah, yeah. But either way, he's proven hard this year that he's in the best place he's probably ever been in,
Hmm.
mentally and like at peace with everything that's going
Yeah.
on and where he's at in his career. And he's been doing some of the best work of his entire career. Like his
Yeah.
feud with Drew
He's
was
clearly
one of the
having.
best feuds of the whole year,
Yeah.
dude.
He's clearly having more fun than he ever has in the ring.
Ever, yeah. At least in WWE.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know about Indies prior because he was like a big deal in
Yeah.
the Indies prior. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is Royal Rumble 2025,
Yeah.
man. There wasn't really other than that.
No, like you
Um,
said, it's hard to break down a Rumble
yeah,
match because there's way too much to. I mean, you could really break it
yeah,
down
we
if you
could sit
wanted
here
to,
and
but
talk all day about random shit, but there's no reason.
yeah, I'm not gonna read statistics and shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Although I will look up because we did see that we had Penta at 42:05, longest one there, right?
Yeah,
Who was the woman that was in the longest? Oh my God, Roxanne Perez at an hour and 7 minutes
that makes
and
sense.
47 seconds. Liv was in for an hour and 7 minutes flat, and then Io Sky was in for an hour and 6 minutes and 45 seconds. That's insane, dude.
Yeah,
All three of them were in all the way.
yeah, that sounds
I'm
right.
pretty sure. Yeah. Yep. The match was an hour and 10 minutes long. So they all made it till right up to the end. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Great. That was a great pay per
it
view,
was
man.
really
Great
good.
pay
Yeah,
per view. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I'm so looking forward to Raw and just this whole road to WrestleMania is going to be so awesome.
I think when you go back, it's like you can. Anytime you watch, anytime there's a pay per view and you go back and like watch the moments again on YouTube, it's like that was a good show. Like as you wanted to go
Yep.
back and
Yep, exactly. Watch people's like watch Alexa Bliss come out
yeah,
and Joe
yeah.
Hendry and the winners and create like the ladder match, the big spots from that, and so yeah, memorable.
Yep.
And shows you don't have to have 50,000 matches on a card as long as everything that happens is good, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
And I thought it was cool that even though they only had four matches, one of them was the tag title match.
mhm.
That just goes to show you that they are really trying to fire up their tag division.
Yeah.
And Triple H said something about that in the press conference. How he was like, it really is starting to feel like we have some steam with our tag division finally.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
I definitely think so, yeah.
It's about time that Gargano gets,
It is. Hmm.
some kind of respect.
Dude, DIY was so sick in NXT.
Yeah.
They were so sick as a tag team, and they split and feuded with each other over the NXT title and shit. So those guys are major players
Yeah.
who have not really been able to do anywhere near as high level stuff on the main roster. But it's also tougher when you're big fish in a pond that at the time was much smaller, and then
Right.
you get brought up and you're trying to compete for time as like single stars with guys like fucking LA Knight and Damian Priest and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and see like we'll
I
go all day, like
just look at the
have
Rumble.
fun with
Just look
that.
at the Rumble. How many big
Yeah,
names
just
were in
look at
that?
the
It's like
Rumble, dude. Yeah. So the best thing you could do is get major spots by being in the tag division and being at the top of that.
yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
that's a good point too. It's like the Rumble is a good gauge for how strong your roster is.
The roster is the craziest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Not even close. Two rumbles, a women's and a men's, with 30 entries, where everybody that entered was
Yeah,
believable and
yeah, that's
was
what I'm
high
saying.
level.
Like there was only a few surprise entries. I mean, I only see
Yep.
like my notes. I only have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, like seven between both rumbles.
Yep.
So that's pretty
I'm
impressive.
looking I'm looking at the women's right now to see if there was even a single person who isn't having legit wrestling matches at this point, and there's literally nobody.
Right.
Everybody
Besides
there.
like Bliss, Stratus, and Bella, right?
That's it. That's it. Yep. Because they came back.
Right.
Yep. That's it. That's the only people. There's obvious people that are like a B-Fab or Maxine Dupree, where it's like, okay, I don't see them winning the world title,
Right.
but at least they're actual women's wrestlers that aren't like May Young or some shit coming back.
Yeah, and they
You
don't
know
put
what I
out.
mean?
Yeah, they're not putting out
Yeah,
trash
they're
when they.
actually
Yeah.
having matches on TV and shit. Whereas on the men's, the only two people who weren't regular people having actual matches were Speed and Joe Hendry, who's the TNA champ though.
Yeah.
So like he is super
That was
believable.
cool that he
So
came out with the
really, it's
belt too.
just Speed. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Dude, Hendry's awesome, and yeah, I just thought this Rumble felt like it was a really good stamp of like, hey everybody, look how fucking crazy our roster is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So that's like really the biggest takeaway from Rumble was Mania's Mania season is on, and it looks like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And the roster is as crazy as it's ever been right now.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That was, dude, sick.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching. We try to do these when we can on big events. So
Yep. We're gonna try to do more of these too.
yeah.
Now that we have a more consistent setup for doing it.
Yep.
So should you'll see these for bigger events for sure.
Yep.
Probably not like I don't know, like a Saturday night's main event or something. Fuck
No,
that. But
but it'll
like
be
SummerSlam, Mania, and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
big main,
100%.
big
Big real
PLEs.
ones. PLEs,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. All right. Sick.
All right, everybody. Thank you.